أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to today's program. Imagine if I told you that I have a way that you can see the past, the present, the future, that you can learn all about life. You can learn how to become successful in life. You can have a message from the Creator, and the Creator is giving you this message. And you have all of this understanding of how the world works. You have your understanding of why we're on this earth. These are the questions we ask. People, philosophers always think, why are we on this earth? What are we here to do? And there's different opinions about that. A lot of people have their own thoughts about our purpose on this earth, about what success means. So imagine if I had this for you, that you can look at the past, you can look at the present, you can look at the future. You can look not even about theoretically. You can actually see stories from the past, from past civilizations that made mistakes, and we saw the results of those mistakes. And this is a warning for us, so we can see how to act in our own lives. What if I told you about that? You would think that that's crazy. And surely something like this, must be fiction. A lot of people can make, there's a lot of futuristic stories you can make, or you can, we have certain ideas of the past, we do have ways to look back at past civilizations. But this book actually does exist. And it is a book from the Creator, straight from the Creator, with words straight from the Creator of the heavens and the earth and everything around us. That book is the Holy Quran. And during the month of Ramadan, we're going to take a deeper look at the Holy Quran and look at some of these different things that we can realize and see just how important the Holy Quran is. Just what big of an impact it has that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave this Quran to us. It's not just something that, we can look to and we can, just see stories from the past. We can see all of these different examples from the past, the present, the future. We can see how the world works. We can see everything. We can see what went on in the heavens. We can see stories from shaitan. We have everything that this Holy Quran that we have has given us. And then you're thinking, well, maybe, the Holy Quran is only for a specific group of people. But it's not. It's for all people to gain benefit from. It's not just for one group of people. It was brought down to Arabic. Of course, the Quran is in Arabic, but it's for all people of every different type and kind, the past, the present. At the time of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, those people had that opportunity to use the Quran. We now have that opportunity to use the Quran. People 100 years from now, if everything is still around, they will have that same opportunity. And so let's look at some of the different aspects of the Quran and see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this all-powerful, all-knowledgeable book. Now first we have sent it down in a blessed night, from Surah Ad-Dukhan. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil mubarakatan inna kunna munzirin. We have sent it down in a blessed night. Next, where it was sent down. When it was sent down, on the blessed night, Laylatul Qadr. And the context in the text of the book, a book we have sent down to thee, blessed. The difference between the Holy Quran and just seeing it as a book. Of course, this was given down to us by the Creator. And you can see that it's a book with dignity. It is surely a noble Holy Quran in a hidden book. None but the purified shall touch, ascending down from the Lord of all beings. There's a reason why we have to do wuzu before touching the Holy Quran. It's so you're in that state of purification. You don't want to even touching the words of the Holy Quran. You have to be in that state of purification because of how pure the Quran is, because of how much Allah, this is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so it's not just something, even, when reading the Quran, even combing your hair, even, brushing your teeth before you read the Quran, even the clothes that you wear, not wearing some, old, disgusting, dirty shirt, wearing, whatever, the best that you have, because that's the level of respect that this book has, the dignity that the Holy Quran has. In the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and everything associated with it is described as Kareem, which means with dignity, generous, kind, noble, honorable, and it goes on. In the Quran it says, the Lord is generous. Ya ayyuhal insanu ma gharabka birabbika al-kareem. A man, what deceived thee as to thy generous Lord. The Holy Quran is noble. Innahu la-Qur'anul kareem. The messenger is noble. Waja'ahum rasul kareem. And a noble messenger came upon them. Even the way that the Quran was sent down, the source in which it came down, was through the angel Jibreel alayhi salam. Truly, this is the word of a noble messenger. Now, even in the Quran, now, what are we? What brings us all together? What do we all have in common, besides being creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We're all human beings. We're human beings that were put on this earth. And in the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes us as the best of God's creation and a recipient of nobility. We have honored the sons of Adam. Now, as the best of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creation, we are given this Quran just as the other creatures are given this Holy Quran. But imagine that we are the best of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creations. Even our relationship with the Holy Quran should be even more that we're the best of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. Even Imam Ali alayhi salam, in his speech, number 152 of Nahjul Balagha, states the purified household are the dignitaries of the Holy Quran. We can see that, yes, that the Holy Quran is that key of nobility, that key of, respect in that individual society. You can see that the people that are, reciting the Holy Quran, memorizing the Holy Quran, practicing the Holy Quran, even listening to the Holy Quran. That's one of the aspects that isn't really looked at a lot. You're only thinking, think about what you listen to throughout a day. You're thinking, well, you're listening to, you're watching TV, you're watching, a podcast, you're listening to a podcast, whatever you're listening to throughout the day. But the Holy Quran, it's not really seen like that with a lot of people. We don't really understand even the blessing of listening to the Holy Quran, especially in the month of Ramadan. If we're, busy doing something, just even playing it in the background and just listening to the words, that of course has so much sawab. And contemplating on the Holy Quran, seeking advice from the Holy Quran, going to the Holy Quran for help, all of these different things show that respect of an individual in that society, in that community. That's what has the most respect. And then you can see that doing all these things, building a bigger understanding of the Holy Quran, especially in this month. We can talk about any other month, but of course, this isn't any other month. This is the holy month of Ramadan. So whatever, even on a normal day, 10 times in the holy month of Ramadan. So even in this month, don't even think about all the other months. But even in this month, if we put more emphasis on that, on contemplating the Holy Quran, on going to the Holy Quran for advice, we need help with something, even little things. A lot of times, there is sort of a understanding, not an understanding, but you can say a thought process among some people that You don't want to, bother Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with your little problems. You don't want to, do stuff like this. Like if you have a problem, you don't want to keep bothering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At the end of the day, it's the exact opposite of that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to go to Him for everything. Every problem that you have, if you go towards the source, the person who can, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the being who can fix all of that at, a second. All He has to say is be and it is. Just like that. So even whatever problems you have, this is where we should be going to. We should be going to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should be looking towards the Holy Quran for advice. Because the Holy Quran, it hasn't just helped us, it's helped thousands, millions of billions of people before us. The Holy Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, the Prophets, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and our 12 Imams, they looked to the Holy Quran. When they had problems, they looked to the Holy Quran. And so this is the example for us to see that this is what we should be doing if we have some sort of problem. Instead of going, of course there are other sources you go to, but who do you go to first is the question. And going to the Holy Quran will be that spot to help you and fix that problem, inshallah. Now there's what we know, there's what we understand, and then there's everything else. What are our thoughts? What are our feelings about things? All of these things are personal ideas. The Holy Quran is above all of that. So instead of getting something, we need some advice or something, or we have, we're having trouble making a decision. And who do you choose to go for? And the Holy Quran is above everything else. Now, looking into the verses of the Holy Quran, we can see that even reading the Holy Quran, reading the same verses over and over again, that influence that it has on us, that effect that it has on us, reading the surahs of the Holy Quran, reading about a story, even reading the translation, seeing what happened, even if we read it, 1,000 times over, we keep reading it and we keep reading it. We read, one surah of the Quran, and then again we read it again. And we're constantly hearing about it, we're talking about it every single time. It's like something that's new. It's like a new point that you understand. Every time you read it, you're gaining more of an understanding. Even think about, when you're watching a movie, you can see that same movie so many different times. You can watch that same movie, 10 times, but you're always going to think of something different. You're going to see it and you're going to be like, wow, I didn't realize that part of the plot. I didn't realize that part of see that scene. I didn't see that guy in the background. The tiny things that you don't realize. So looking at the Holy Quran, and this is something that's set. A movie is something visual. So you can see that. And every time you're seeing the same things, but this time your eye is catching on. But the Holy Quran is physically a living creature. It's something that every time you read it, you're building more of an understanding. And even the words are changing for you in your heart. So it's not even so much that, I just realized it. It's that you're unlocking the secrets of the Holy Quran. The eyes that we have, the things that we hear, we're restricted. We don't have its full capabilities. I can't say that maybe I have the same eye in terms of I have an eye, Imam Ali alayhi salam had an eye. But when he looked forward, he saw something different than what I see. When he looked at people, he saw something different. When he saw a cemetery, he saw something different than what me and you see. And why is that? Let's not even look at, of course he's Imam Ali alayhi salam. Let's not even say it just like that. But because he has unlocked that ability, we have to look at it through the practical sense. Seeing, okay, there's the Prophet, there's the Imam. Of course, we're never going to get to that level. It's not physically possible. That's the example, and we're the people following the example. But we want to get as close as we can to that. And so we want to try to unlock more of those levels so that we can see more, we can notice more. When we read the Holy Quran, we don't just see the same thing every time. It starts to unlock more things in our mind. The secrets of the Holy Quran start to come out to us every single time we read it. Even ayatullahs, they're constantly seeing new things. They're constantly having new understandings. Even if you read the Quran 100 times, the way that you can see the clear evidence of everything. You can see the evidence from this world. You can see the evidence of this afterlife. You can see different aspects from, issues with family to political rights to rights of people to, military warfare to, even morality, how people are supposed to act, to generations, thousands of years before us, to the first of creation and beyond creation. Now you're thinking, okay, even understanding this earth, we all want to have an understanding of this earth, but the Holy Quran doesn't just show us how the creation of this earth. It doesn't just show us the first human beings. It shows us beyond that, beyond when this was created. It shows us when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was creating the earth, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Prophet Adam alayhi salam. So we can see even beyond that, we can see the conversations that happened, the conversations with Iblis, the conversations with Prophet Adam alayhi salam, what went on in the heavens. Even thinking about the afterlife. Imagine, people are always afraid because we don't, understand. There's so many different point of views. Out of the billions of people on this earth, everyone has a different idea of what that is. Different religions will give different explanations of what goes on in the afterlife. What happens after this? Whatever age you leave this world, you're put down into the ground, you're buried. What happens after that? And so the Quran tells us what happens after that. Now, okay, I understand what happens after that. So for example, let's break it down. Let's say there's two options. Let's say there's heaven and let's say there's hell. So there's the two options for us. So imagine if it's just as simple as that. That's how we break it down. And we can use that understanding throughout our entire lives. We can think of that as good, as bad, how we treat others, how other people treat us, all these different things. But it's not just that. We can see the different stages. We have that information from the Imams and the Prophets. We have that information about Barzakh, the period after, and all the different things, all the things to avoid, all the things to try and do, to have that period after we die be the best period for us. So that we're happy in that period, waiting to go to heaven. And what does it take? It takes putting it into perspective. Because you can know something as a fact, see that it's going to happen from the most trusted of sources, a source that came to you from the Creator. The Holy Quran is based off of realities. It's not based off of something that someone wrote, someone's idea. It's not simply a philosophy. I think this is what's going to happen. I think, based on, I saw someone else do it, based on this, based on that. That's my understanding of it. And someone else has another opinion, somebody else has another opinion. The Holy Quran is a fact. It's not based on someone else's thinking. It's based on the realities of the world. It's based on what's going to happen, what happened. These are all realities for us. And we can choose to ignore those realities. We can choose to pretend, well, I'll see what happens. I don't think that's going to, I'll see what happens. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Or you can choose to accept that reality. You can choose to use that advice that we're given from the Holy Quran to set yourself up in the best way that you possibly can. And to take advantage of it. It wasn't just made so that we can have it on the shelf. It's not just, something that merely guards your house. You want to feel safe at night, so you have a Holy Quran. It's not just that, but it's supposed to guard our entire lives. It's supposed to be that protector for us in this world, in our affairs of this world, but also in the next world. Everything that happens beyond this. And you always got to look to the future. You can't think that, oh, well, I'm just going to do this now and, we'll see what happens. You always got to look ahead. You can't look ahead. It's not good to look ahead in the way that you ignore the present, that nothing else, exists to you except for, okay, I'm going to save this money, and then you don't give away money to charity. You don't see it like that. You keep saving, and then what's the point of it? But it's about being practical. And the practical thing is that since we know what's going to happen, you have to prepare for it. So even when I read my namaz, even when I read Quran, seeing that this has an immediate impact, it's an investment, but at the same time, it's an immediate impact. It's something that you're saving away money, but at the same time, you're getting something right now. Saying salam to somebody at the masjid. Things like this, you're getting an immediate impact. We can see all the miracles of the Holy Quran as well. All the miracles that happened in the past. How the prophets and imams, the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, were saved from many different situations. How Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam in the fire. For example, Prophet Musa and the splitting of the sea. All of these different things we're able to see. Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam and being saved out of the well and becoming one of the highest positions in Egypt. All of these are the Holy Quran. And these are for us to see and to use as examples. It's like when you see the Holy Quran, even holding the Holy Quran, this is a miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a mercy upon us. Even holding it in your hands. And as time goes on, you become, if we keep building and building upon what we've previously had. One time I'm reading the Quran, the next time I'm reading it, we're constantly gaining knowledge from it. It's constantly unlocking more for us. And as time passes, that knowledge only becomes even more. Throughout history, you're thinking that this was from Prophet Muhammad during the time of Prophet Muhammad. Nothing has been added to the Holy Quran. Nothing has been taken away from the Holy Quran. Nothing has, there's not, okay, well, this law we're going to change, this law we're going to change. Nothing. The Holy Quran is the same as it was. It's the same as it will be. Because this is the divine word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is in its truest form. This is the best thing that we have. At that time that the Holy Quran was revealed, there was a lot of injustice going on. There was a lot of oppression. There was a lot of some of the worst people in history in terms of what they were doing. Not even on a, don't even think about it as a religious perspective. Think about it as any perspective. These people were not good people. And Prophet Muhammad was sent down to these people. And the Quran was revealed to these people. And they were able to use it. And you're thinking, okay, well, even just those people. But not only those people, but it's for us as well. It's just as relevant to them, just as relevant to the companions of Prophet Muhammad, just as relevant to some of the first people, who joined Prophet Muhammad. But it's also relevant to us. It also helps us in the exact same way. The same words that we're reading are the words that they were reading. Reading through the different Islamic stories, reading through the Quranic stories that have shown us examples of how we should live our lives, of the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the miracles of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we ever think that we're in a bad situation, that there's no hope for us, we lose hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is a greater sin, of course. But even doing that and looking to the Holy Quran for advice and seeing the miraculous ways in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved the prophets, saved them from these amazing situations that you can't even imagine. And when we look at our situations can't even compare to those. And yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped them. And so for us to think that whatever situation we're in, whatever we're dealing with, that's more than everything else, that's more than the prophets, the imams, that would be crazy to think that. So we pray to Allah for the tawfiq, for the ability to make the most out of the Holy Quran, to have that understanding every single time we read the Holy Quran, to give it more importance in our lives, so that inshallah, throughout the remaining days of the holy month of Ramadan, not only are we able to accelerate our process, accelerate everything that we've done throughout our lives, put it on 100 speed to unlock the secrets of the Quran, to have, be awakened to the things that we can't see right now. But at the same time, throughout the years, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helps us with that. Well, that is all the time that we have left for today. Now I'm going to read Allahumma qawlayliyaka to remember our 12th Imam. May Allah hasten his appearance. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma kulli waliyaka al-hujjati ibn al-Hasan. صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل الساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك توا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم. Inshallah, all of our remaining fasts go well. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Khudafis. I'll see you next time.